hopefully you fasten your seatbelts for the next 2 hours.
Right. That's nonsense, Clint. I'm not buying it. I'm sorry.
I don't care what you buy.
That's nonsense.
My feeling.
You're not just buying a racetrack. You're buying a piece of American racing history right there. I mean, that's huge. The history behind the track, just mind-boggling.
You hear a lot of rumors in the rumor mill. I'll just keep tuning in to you guys to hear the truth when it comes down to it. So
don't do that. I've already had one dose of tin hat syndrome today. I don't need a second one.
Stuart Friesen said to Brett, he says, "Why don't you bring us to more places like this?" And Brett goes, "There isn't any other place like this."
Race fans, it's time to throw it up on the cushion and get dirty. Coming to you live from the Finger Lakes and Southern Tier, it's time for Turn 5 Live. Now, your hosts of Turn 5 Live, Steve Ovens, Clint Miller, and Brad Ovens.
Yeah, baby, crank it up. Broadsiding off of Turn 4, ready to take the green flag with tonight's edition of Turn 5 Live here on the Performance Motorsports Network. Reminder, you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Turn5Live. You can find us on Twitter at Turn5Live. And you can also catch us every Tuesday night right here on the Performance Motorsports Network. Go to performancemotorsportsnetwork.com. Click on the Listen Live link, and you can listen in to each week's show. And, of course, if you miss out on our Tuesday night program, just go over to the YouTube page, youtube.com, and search Turn 5 Live. Coming to you from Horseheads, New York, here in the Southern Tier. Steve Ovens joining you on the program tonight. Clint Miller joining us from Penn Yan, New York. Race car driver, race car crewman since 2002. Clint Miller, welcome to the program, my friend.
Thank you, Steve-O. Thank you. What a great week. Weekend was kind of a washout, but overall, man, it was awesome.
Oh, it certainly was. We had just an incredible opening night at Outlaw Speedway on Thursday night. A lot of things on Friday and Saturday were iffy and or washed out. Chemung Speedrome got their event in on Sunday. We'll have interviews with our winner in second place from the Sunoco Modified Division on Sunday at Chemung. We also have winner interviews from Outlaw Speedway from Thursday night. Also joining us on the program tonight here, former racer, former crewman, and now an official with the CRSA 305 Sprint Tour coming to us from Penn Yan. Brad Ovens joining the program. Brad, welcome aboard.
Hey, guys, I can tell you one place that wasn't underwater this past Saturday was the Paradise Speedway. And boy, was there some action.
That's for sure. Anybody that was tuning into the Turn 5 Live page saw some 600 Pro action from Paradise on Saturday, Brad. Looked like they had a nice turnout there for what at most other places was kind of an iffy night due to the weather.
Yeah, the track officials had a pool going to see how many anybody could guess the right number of cars that would sign in for the 600 Pros, and I went a little anxious, and I went with 35 cars just with everybody raining out, and I think they ended up having 20 some cars. So it was a pretty good field of cars over there, to say the least, and the racing action was close, tight, and man, I'll tell you what, they put on a heck of a show over there.
Oh, they certainly did. We'll have full recaps from all the local racing, although, like I said, most of it kind of getting washed out over the course of Friday and Saturday. But what tracks got in, we'll certainly talk about those tonight. Clint, why don't we start with Thursday Night Thunder? Tyler Seary, went out on a limb. And actually, you know what, guys, before we even get to Outlaw Speedway tonight, I do want to start tonight's program with mentioning another in the racing community that we lost, and this was in between the time that we had our show last Tuesday and tonight's program, so I really should start there and mention, certainly our thoughts out to the Hogue family on the loss of Dutch last week. I believe it was Wednesday that we lost Dutch early in the morning. And, we said it on Thursday before the races start, a racing legend and a hero to so many in this region. a 5-time winner of what would become the Race of Champions. Used to be called the National Open at Langhorne, and Dutch Hogue, a 5-time winner of that. And, that's just one stat of many. I mean, that is the one that everybody goes to right away, and rightfully so. I mean, to have 5 of those wins at Langhorne, both on dirt and on asphalt, just incredible. So, Clint, that was certainly some sad news. Even after not being involved in racing behind the wheel anymore, Dutch Hogue was a big presence in this community.
Yeah, he always was. Anywhere Bath, Canona, pretty much anywhere that there was an asphalt track in the community, everybody knew who Dutch Hogue was, and I made sure on Thursday night to go see Dean and give my condolences. And Dean and I haven't always seen eye to eye, but there's a respect there, and I have no problem showing it for that man.
Absolutely. So, Dutch Hogue, 89 years of age, he will be very much lost, or he will be very much missed in this racing community. And, just reading Area Auto this morning, guys, a guy who was revered by so many. It wasn't just right here in our backyard. I mean, his reach was just all over the Northeast. And a guy that was very well known. I mean, and this is something real simple, guys, but to think this is a guy here that has, die-cast cars made after, replicas made after his car, some of the cars that he raced. I mean, you think about that, and there's these die-cast cars all over the country, and this was for a guy that lived and raced right in our backyard. And I think that's just one small example to show the reach that Dutch Hogue had. So he is going to be greatly missed in the community. So with that being said, let's move over to Thursday night. Outlaw Speedway season opener, Thursday Night Thunder. Tyler Seary making the call last Monday to run Thursday Night Thunder due to the weather that was being forecasted. And Clint, he hit a home run, not only in the pits, but in the grandstands, and as far as the weather went, because come Friday, it was pouring. We couldn't have raced on Friday if we wanted to. So just a home run call to run Thursday Night Thunder. What were some of your reactions from Thursday night's action?
Oh, man, I got to say it was really, really awesome to see the pits full. We had drivers that wouldn't normally run at Outlaw Speedway come in on a Thursday night to run. We saw the likes of Eric Rudolph. We saw the likes of Mike Mahaney came down. We had 21 IMCA cars, and who knows if that's going to, be a regular Friday night thing. It was just really good to see. We had 28 street stocks. The grandstands full. As full as I've seen them in 10 years, 15 years. Probably more people there on opening night for Outlaw than I would say half of a season last year and the year before. And I think it's just a testament to Tyler and just the fact that new ownership is in and showing what he's going to do in the weeks to come.
No doubt about it. Brad, you were able to take in the action from high above on Thursday night. What were some of your reactions from what you were able to see and hear and feel on Thursday night?
It was there was a lot of good racing going on. There's no doubt there's a lot of classes that are running over there this year. Although I really feel like they kept the show moving. The victory lane was really something special. That's really cool to put the car right there in front of the fans like that and make it that close and that personal. I kind of see where there's some areas that maybe a little bit of it could use some tweaking, but it's the first race out of 4 races, so can't complain at all. But I enjoyed my time up there.
Yeah, I thought the interesting part of the night, was the fact that we did debut that new Victory Lane, where the car gets pushed in between the catch fence and the grandstands. And when the first, A.J. Petrobowski Jr. was the first to grace Victory Lane in Outlaw Speedway's history. But when we got to the big cars for feature time, and Dale Welty, he was the first guy to get wheeled up there, climb out of the car, wave the checkered flag, and what a roar from the fans. And it was at that point on Thursday night that it kind of hit home for me just how big Thursday night was. It was much more than just an opening night at a dirt track. It was truly the writing of the next chapter. It was truly the closing of one chapter, the start of another, and boy, what an incredible feeling! And I can't imagine for the winners on Thursday night what it was like to climb out of their car and look in the grandstands and see all of those people. Dale Welty said it, and we'll hear from him in the next segment about how long it had been since he had seen that many cars. That many cars, that many people. So it'll be interesting to follow along with all of that. And 147 cars there on Thursday night. Just an incredible field. The crowd was outstanding. I talked to race fans from all over that came out and joined us on a Thursday night, and I even talked to a father and son who drove all the way down from Canada because they heard the buzz about Outlaw Speedway and they decided to jump in the car and go see what the buzz was all about. So what an opening night. We're going to get to the results here in the next segment. We'll tell you about who all of the winners were, who all the players were, and we'll give our little analysis of all the feature events as well. The following segment after that at 8:15 tonight, 8 o'clock tonight, we'll hear from the winners at Outlaw Speedway on opening night, so you won't want to miss that. Stay tuned, folks. We got a lot of coverage from Outlaw Speedway, Chemung Speedrome, 5 Mile Point, Skyline got an event in, and then Brad will talk to us about the happenings over at the Paradise Speedway. Stay tuned to Turn 5 Live right here on the Performance Motorsports Network, the voice of motorsports.
We're growing like crazy and need account reps who know their way around agencies, the internet, and social media. Got connections? Or do you know how to get to the decision makers? Are you fearless? We need you. Internet radio, or as we call it, wireless mobile radio, is rapidly becoming the place to be with almost limitless income potential. So contact us to get involved with the fastest growing professionally produced group of internet radio stations in the world. Your imagination is the only limit here. Call 717-749-0444. That's 717-749-0444. Or you can email us at scorpionradiogroup@gmail.com. You want to ask for Sue.
Okay, so Sarah, I'm dropping you off at Emily's?
Yep.
And Josh, you're going to?
Soccer, Dad. Soccer practice.
Right. Oh, by the way, I just wanted to let you know when I pick you both up, I'll be wearing my short shorts.
What? No!
Yep, and my dorky dad hat, and I'm gonna do my dad dance for all your friends. They'll love it!
Seriously? Why?
Because I like my short shorts. Of course, I could be talked out of it if you guys would just buckle up your seatbelts without giving me a hard time.
It's important to get your kids to buckle up for safety, no matter what it takes. And sometimes, all it takes is your parental powers of persuasion.
Okay, we're buckling up. See, all buckled.
Good choice. I'll just have to do my dad dance at dinner time.
What? No!
Do what you have to make sure your kids are wearing their seatbelts, even on short drives. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. Visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup for more information.
Creekside Entertainment is the official DJ, photo booth, and uplighting company of Turn 5 Live and the Performance Motorsports Network. Stuart Ovens and his staff at Creekside Entertainment are professional and experienced with events of any type. Creekside Entertainment specializes in wedding packages that are affordable and fun, and they are ready to serve you with the most up-to-date music and karaoke selection. If you can sing it in the shower, you can come out and sing it with Creekside Entertainment. And don't forget about the Creekside Entertainment photo booth and uplighting service that will transform your wedding or party into an event the family will be talking about for years. Trust the entertainment company that racers trust. Call Stu at area code 315-481-9700 or visit them online at creeksideentertainmentdj.com. You can also find them on Facebook and Twitter. Creekside Entertainment, division sponsor of the Black Rock Bandits in 2015.
Hi race fans, this is Kelly Hebing and you're listening to Turn 5 Live on PMN.
Welcome back, race fans, to Turn 5 Live here on the Performance Motorsports Network. Stephen and Brad Ovens, Clint Miller joining you on tonight's program. And just a quick reminder, if you don't have it on your favorites list to check out every day, be sure to check out racechaseronline.com, where you can find all the news, views, driver interviews, and feature stories. Your motorsports, your way, every day. You can find it at racechaseronline.com. Gentlemen, let's get into some of the results from Thursday night at the Outlaw Speedway. Boy, I almost had to put $1 in the bucket there. That wouldn't have been good. So, again, everything happening on Thursday night. Thursday Night Thunder at the Outlaw Speedway, the opening night event for 2016. And Tyler Seary, you know, we talked about the night he had as a track owner and promoter. Clint, boy, did he have a great night. Not only that, he picks up the modified win, and it was his birthday. I mean, how good of a night could a guy have?
That's pretty much it, I would think. I mean, that's the coup de grace of your opening night.
No doubt about it. So we'll start off with the Friendly Dodge and Ford Modifieds. 28 Modifieds on hand for the action on Thursday night. And again, we had so many cars in three of our divisions that we had to run a consi in both the Crate Sportsman division, the Modified division, as well as the Street Stock division. So that was... that was quite unusual for what you would consider a quote-unquote weekly night of racing. So 28 cars for the Modifieds, 30 laps the distance. Danny Johnson led early, had motor trouble, and when he had motor trouble, he had big motor trouble. That car, that small block of theirs, I'm not sure that engine will see the light of day again or not, but he Clint, as they like to say when a motor goes like that, I have to imagine there were some parts in the pan.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, it didn't leak out the bottom of it because it was. We walked by and we helped them actually push it on the trailer, and there was no oil, so it definitely stayed internal for whatever reason. But when I looked up and saw the big puff of smoke, and then I saw the 27J coasting in, I thought, well, that's not really very good.
No, it sure wasn't. So at that point, Tyler Seary handed over the lead, and at one point during that race, we had a restart where you had Seary and Johnson on the front row together, and as Mel Thomas and I mentioned up in the booth, what a turn of events from what we saw in December at the Gobbler to opening night at Outlaw Speedway, and we saw those two who have had their run-ins here in the past on the front row for that restart on lap 2. That was pretty exciting for a couple of moments there. But in the end, Tyler Seary would get the 30-lap win. He had to hold off some late charges from several different drivers, Billy Van Pelt being one of them. He would have a flat left rear tire, would end his great run. Alan Johnson was the hard charger of the night, drove up through the field like we've seen Alan do so many times before, only to have the float stick on the carburetor, and he would have to take it in with about 2 or 3 laps to go. And that gave the last chance to Eric Rudolph to see what he could do with Seary. He could not get it done. Seary would get the win. Eric Rudolph would be second. Steve Payne, nice solid run to start out the season with third. Ron Cartwright Jr. won the consolation event to qualify for the feature. He would charge all the way up to 4th. And D-Pods, all the way from Penn Yan, Derek Pozziadlo, rounded out the top 5. Great run there for D-Pods to start the season. Then it was Brady Foltz, Joe Ginn, Donnie Lawson, Mike Bills, and Super Matt Shepard, who had a up-and-down night for sure, rounded out the top 10. Johnson led laps 1 to 4. Siri led laps 5 to 30. Heat race winners, Jim LaRock, Danny Johnson, Justin Wright, Steve Payne. Ron Cartwright Jr. picked up the Consi. Any final thoughts from the modified division there, Clint?
Well, I'm pretty partial to Matt Shepard, watching him grow up at when it was Black Rock Speedway and the Bandits, and he was up to 4th and had some contact, we'll call it, with initiated by Mike Mahaney, and I would have liked the way that it kind of panned out with the battle with a couple laps to go, with a couple guys dropping out that were up front. I would have liked to have seen Matt get up there and run with Tyler. But going back to Alan Johnson, I think that he probably was the guy to beat. The way he came up through there, and he got a run out of 2 a couple laps before the caution, and I thought he was going to get him then. So I think the 14J is going to be something to contend with this year at Outlaw Speedway.
And if he can pick up a victory this season, that will be 42 straight seasons that Alan Johnson has picked up a feature win. So we will be sitting tight to see if that comes to pass or not here in 2016. Great Sportsman Division, 29 cars in attendance. I imagine that number will only go up this week as we bring in the Grit Racing Series, sponsored by SuperGen Products. But 29 cars on Thursday night, 25 laps the distance. Dale Welty, first win of the season, and Dale Welty flat out walked the dog on Thursday night. Mike Jackson gave him a good battle at the end of the feature there, but boy, Dale Welty, I don't think anybody was going to stop him.
We saw that out of Dale last year. Had a really good, strong run like that, and you're right. I mean, he was just absolutely on fire that night. It seemed like anywhere he would go, that car would let him go, and the car would let him take it there. And it's just one of those deals that it was his race to lose, and he sure didn't lose it.
No, he definitely did not. That 1-2-3 was on a rail Thursday night. Jackson, who now has a pile of second-place finishes, Mike Jackson just knocking on the door for that first victory of 2016, and boy, he was awful close on Thursday night. Doug Smith, good run for Doug Smith. Started on the pole, led the first 3 laps, and ends up with a third-place finish. Good run for him. Another good run for Rob Humphreys. Humphreys tows all the way down from Elbridge, New York, to race with us on occasion in Dundee, so good run for him. And previous week's winner at Woodhall, Josh Kesey, rounded out the top 5. 6 through 10 was Brett Buno, Eric Williams, Casey Pavlik in his first start for Mashesky Motorsports. Josh Sawyer and Jake Ginn rounded out the top 10. Lap leaders there, Doug Smith 1-3, Welty 4-25. Heat race winners on Thursday night, Brett Buno, Josh Kesey, Mike Jackson, and Eric Williams. Chris Fisher would win the consolation event. Moving on to the Crate Late Models, 12 cars joining the fold for Thursday night, 20 laps the distance. We had him on the program here a couple weeks ago, and he's been on fire lately. Bryce Davis got the win, took the lead on lap number 11, and led the rest of the way. He got the win over Dave Lyon, John Waters, Jason Knowles, and Brian Knowles. Pork Chop rounded out the top 5. 6 through 10 was Mike Wonderling, Brady Wonderling, Adam Depew, Chris Fleming, and Jeremy Wonderling. And lap leaders, Wonderling, Mike Wonderling, 1 through 10, Bryce Davis, 11 through 20, and heat race winners, Brady Wonderling and Bryce Davis. 12 cars to start out the season for the Crate Late Models, and I'll be honest with you, Clint. I think for the first week for this division, not a bad turnout.
No, I don't think so at all. I really hope that the numbers keep going up. It's a new class. You got to give it. He's giving it a chance. So, we'll see what happens. And I'm a full fender guy. You know that, and I hope it works out.
I do too, and I think the thing that to point out there is, they're paying $750 to win for the Rush Crate late models, and I feel like at this point, the promoter has kind of stuck his neck out there. We're going with the Crate late models. It's an up and coming thing, and we're going to start out with $750 to win. I mean, a couple seasons ago they were getting $250 to win. In what was kind of a trial period for Crate late models. So I hope that more drivers come out and support the efforts, because the pay and everything, the commitment from the track is certainly there. So next up, we've got the Creekside Entertainment Street Stocks, 27 cars in attendance. Just a great field of street stocks on Thursday. 20 laps the distance, and Dylan Cece led laps 3 through 19 3/4, Clint. Winslow diamond the corner in turn 4 and just made a perfect move to get the win. Winslow would pick up the win. Cece would come home second. CJ Guerri was third. Jeremy Petrobowski fourth. Nate Daggett the top 5. Laverne Knickerbocker, Gene Balmer, Earl Zimmer, Jared Hill, and the Double Deuce Coupe, Carl Cleveland, rounded out the top 10. Lap leaders, CJ Guerri led laps 1 and 2. Cece led from laps 3 to 19. And Winslow took the lead in turn 4, coming to the checkered flag. Heat race winners Dylan Cece, Laverne Knickerbocker, John Carpenter making an appearance at Outlaw Speedway Thursday night. Kurt Stebbins picked up the Consi. And Clint, before we step aside to break here, boy, what a battle that was. And Chuck Winslow, what a perfect move to get around for the lead.
Yeah, I talked to him a little bit after the races were over, and he said that he followed him for so long, and he said, man, this isn't going to work. If I'm going to win, I can't run the same line he does. So he tried it. He tried it the lap before, and it just about worked. And he said coming down the front straight, taking the white flag, that he thought that if he had the opportunity to hit that line again, and he thought that he had a chance to do it, and by golly, he did. And Carl was running that, or Carl tried that line too, and it worked good if you went up there and came across the 3 and 4 like that. But Carl said it was awful dark up on there in 3 and 4. He didn't know if he could do that for 20 laps.
Now that's just based on the rubber being laid down at that point?
Actually, no. That was based off of the little bit of dust that there was, and being where the top of 3 was to go actually over the bank.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
The groove was up that high, and he just didn't want to take that chance.
Gotcha. Well, that was the results so far. We've got 4-cylinder results and Winter Circle Deli Bandits to talk about, and then we'll hear from our winners from Thursday night at Outlaw Speedway. Stay tuned. You're listening to Turn 5 Live here on the Performance Motorsports Network, the voice of motorsports.
Max Dairy Bar is a proud supporter of Turn 5 Live and the Performance Motorsports Network. Opened in 1974, Max Dairy Bar has been a Penn Yan, Cayuga Lake, and Yates County staple, serving the best Hershey's hard ice cream. They also have soft serve ice cream, their weekly yogurt special, sorbet flavors, gluten-free options, frozen Greek yogurt, and non-dairy lemon ice. Don't forget about their tricky 18-hole putt-putt course that will test your skill to see if you have what it takes to be a champion. Max Dairy Bar and Mini Golf, located on State Route 14A, just south of the village of Penn Yan, right on the way to Black Rock Speedway on Friday nights. Visit them online at www.maxdairybar.com or Max Dairy Bar on Facebook and Twitter. Stop by Max Dairy Bar and tell them Turn 5 Live sent you.
We're growing like crazy and need account reps who know their way around agencies, the internet, and social media. Got connections? Or do you know how to get to the decision makers? Are you fearless? We need you. Internet radio, or as we call it, wireless mobile radio, is rapidly becoming the place to be with almost limitless income potential. So contact us to get involved with the fastest growing professionally produced group of Internet radio stations in the world. Your imagination is the only limit here. Call 717-749-0444. That's 717-749-0444. Or you can email us at scorpionradiogroup@gmail.com. You want to ask for Sue.
Creekside Entertainment is the official DJ, photo booth, and uplighting company of Turn 5 Live and the Performance Motorsports Network. Stuart Ovens and his staff at Creekside Entertainment are professional and experienced with events of any type. Creekside Entertainment specializes in wedding packages that are affordable and fun, and they are ready to serve you with the most up-to-date music and karaoke selection. If you can sing it in the shower, you can come out and sing it with Creekside Entertainment. And don't forget about the Creekside Entertainment photo booth and uplighting service that will transform your wedding or party into an event the family will be talking about for years. Trust the entertainment company that racers trust. Call Stu at area code 315-481-9700 or visit them online at creeksideentertainmentdj.com. You can also find them on Facebook and Twitter. Creekside Entertainment, division sponsor of the Black Rock Bandits in 2015.
Hi, race fans. This is Nick Cooper, and you're listening to Turn 5 Live on PMN.
Welcome back, race fans, to Turn 5 Live here on the Performance Motorsports Network. Stephen and Brad Ovens, Clint Miller joining you on the show here tonight. Nick Cooper bringing us back from a commercial break, and he is actually hoping to have his 360 Sprint ready for Friday night at Outlaw Speedway. Of course, the Lucas Oil Empire Super Sprints will be in town. It's the rerunning of the Outlaw Spring Nationals that was rained out from April 22nd. So it'll be the Lucas Oil Empire Super Sprints, $2,000 to win, $250 to start. You've got the Friendly Ford and Dodge Modifieds in the first of 3 legs of the Outlaw Challenge Modified Triple Crown. If a driver can win on Friday night and then turn around and win the Outlaw Fall Nationals and the Dutch Hogue National Open, they will take home a crisp $25,000, courtesy of Insinger Performance and Sunoco Race Fuel. So you've got all of that going on. And then the cherry on the top, we've got the Grit Series Sportsman in town, $1,200 to win there, as well as the IMCA Empire State Series. And they will be first on the card on Friday night. And every time the IMCA division has got a fresh, clean track to work with, that is when they have always put on the best show for the fans. So I'm personally looking forward to that, especially after we had 21 IMCA cars there on Thursday night. So let's get to the IMCA Modifieds. 21 cars in attendance Thursday night, 20 laps the distance. Will Ward got the win after driving out from Cobleskill on Thursday afternoon. He got the win over Rodney Morgan, and keep your eyes on Rodney Morgan in the 89 car, as he'll be a guy to contend with this year as well. Good second place run for him. Harry Ely, Keith Lamphere, Phil Yaw, the top 5. Then it was Tony Harris, Bruce Tinsley, Sean Bruce, Brandon Smith, and Sparky Hills, the wily veteran, rounding out the top 10. Ward led all 20 laps of the event. Heat race winners were Ward, Brad Seitz, and Mike Smith. Moving on to the 4-cylinder division, Cody Baker has already got a win at Woodhull. Now he's got a win at Outlaw, and was probably the most animated in Victory Lane on Thursday night, getting a big roar from the crowd. He got the win over Rich Sharpstein, Scott Bradley, Chad Ayers, Bruce Kinner, the top 5. Then 6 through 10, Brad Rathbun Jr., Brandon Kinner, Eric Abel, Jared Brown, and Jordan Kiefer, the top 10 for the 4-cylinder division. And in the 4-cylinders, that was another turn 4 pass for the win, as Baker made it stick on the bottom, and he clipped Sharpstein by a bumper at the checkered flag. Heat race winners were Rich Sharpstein and Chad Ayers. And then we talked about him earlier, winner Circle Deli Bandits, 4 cars, 10 laps the distance, started off the program. A.J. Petrobowski Jr. now has wins at Outlaw Speedway as well as Woodhall Raceway, and that will put his name in the books as the first winner at Outlaw. Stephen Perkins the third was second, Austin Labar third, Ryan Wood not able to make the call for the green flag. So let's hear from your winners from opening night. Thursday Night Thunder at the Outlaw Speedway. We'll start it off with Tyler Seary, who won the Friendly Ford and Dodge Modified feature. So here is Tyler Seary. Well, folks, he's got the helmet off, takes the Hans device off, getting ready to climb up out of here. Your opening night modified winner, the Boss Man, Tyler Seary. How about that? I talked to this guy last night on the phone, said he couldn't wait to get here, couldn't wait to see all the people. And last night, Tyler, you said to me on the phone, you said, tonight we race for Dutch Hogue. What more can you say, man?
Yeah, the guy was a legend, and, for me to buy the place and, win on his night, and it's just special. What an awesome, man. Couldn't beat it any better.
Good race out there. This car was strong tonight, and you had to hold off some of the best in the Northeast to do it.
Yeah, I seen the scoreboard up there. I knew they were coming, and my car was getting a little loose there, and so I dialed some more brake into it, tightened it up, and that was the difference.
We wondered what the difference was at the end there, trying to protect the bottom. That was the preferred lane. Rudolph was trying the outside, but just didn't have enough laps to catch you.
Well, I went up on the high side a couple times there, and I said, man, this is pretty good, but once I got my car tightened up a little bit on the bottom, I didn't think they could pass me on the outside. So
you look out at this crowd tonight, Tyler. What a crowd for opening night. Thursday Night Thunder, all the off-season work, man. I can't imagine what it must feel like tonight.
Yeah, I got to thank all the fans out there that support us. I've been here 2.5 months, 7 days a week, and it's just been unreal. So I really appreciate everybody's support. I can't do it without you guys. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's modified winner, Tyler Seary.
The Boss Man in victory lane.
All right. We'll have him get a quick picture. Where's the tickets? There we go. $668 to tonight's winner. We'll have Tyler draw the ticket out here. Opening night winner for 2016 in the modified division, Tyler Seary picking up the win there. In the crate sportsman division, though, it was Dale Welty out of Montour Falls, New York, taking the win. We caught up with Dale Welty in Victory Lane, and this is what he had to say about the 1, 2, 3. Well, he's had time to get the helmet off on his way up here. Ladies and gentlemen, your crate sportsman winner, Dale Welty. Couldn't be a more popular win here. We were talking about this guy during the feature. So many wins in the Super Stock. Got a win last year in the Crate Sportsman. Did you think you could pull it off on opening night?
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect. We run Thunder Mountain last week, and the car was really strong. But I'll tell you, I have not had a car handle better than this car handled tonight. I mean, it was on rails. I didn't know if anybody was tight behind me. Lap cars were a little hairy. A lot of fun, though. I'll tell you, it's great. It's great to see a new, great big crowd here at Outlaw Speedway. Awesome.
When's the last time you saw a crowd like this, Dale?
Been a few years, except for maybe sprint car night once in a while.
Talk to us about the folks that help you out here.
Yeah, my brother Daryl, he owns the car, and I'll tell you, whatever he did over the winter, I mean, that car just handled perfect. Larry Kennison owns my modified. He gives us advice. Dave Colshaw is our main crewman, and we really don't have any sponsors. I mean, we have not a single sponsor. Precision Fabrication is Larry Kennison, who I drive my modified for. He helps us out a little bit with parts and some stuff, but I'll tell you, if anybody wants to get on a car, I think it's going to be a winner.
There you go, folks. Dale Welty, tonight's Crate Sportsman feature winner. He'll get a nice trophy to take home with him. Now, Dale, you get to keep the trophy. She's got to come back with us at the end of the pictures here. All right, Mel Thomas, let's throw it back up to you, brother. So a little fun there with Dale Welty, Clint. Just wanted a kind, gentle reminder. The trophy girl's got to come back with us to the tower. So, so some good fun there. IMCA Modified winner Will Ward picked up the win on Thursday night. We talked with Will in Victory Lane after his first win of the year at Outlaw Speedway.
Oh, I'm going to have fun.
Hard-fought win for Will Ward out there tonight in the 14 car. Pulls it into Outlaw Speedway Victory Lane. Winners Circle Deli, Addison Napa Auto Parts, Elm Chevrolet, Lanes Yamaha, OSM.
WDW Trucking.
I'm reading the banners off the Victory Lane sign. Climbs out of the car, your winner tonight in the IMCA Modifieds, Will Ward.
Will Ward. Come on down. That was a long one. Hey, Will. Way to go, baby.
Had to fight hard for that one.
Nice job, bud. Thank you.
Tell us about it, man. Had to wait a while to get in here to Victory Lane, but this car was flawless tonight for you.
Oh man, it's awesome. This is brand new this season. You know, I mean, I guess let me thank anybody. I know there's not very many people left, and I looked in the stands, and I know a lot of guys hung around for a little bit to watch. I appreciate anybody that stuck around. You know, we were dead last, and I know it's late, and it's a school night and everything else, but you know, we drove 3.5 hours to come here tonight, so we'll be sleeping in the trailer tonight, and if everything don't rain out, we'll be afton, and well, we got a long weekend. It's like 7 races in like 10 days, so. But yeah, this thing was awesome. In the heat race, we knew we were good. Started talking to the guys back down in Virginia that helped build the car, and they gave me little tweaks, and here we are. So it must have worked out.
Little tweaks on these cars. That's all it takes to really hit it on the money with these IMCA cars.
No, that's for sure. And we were starting in the front row, so I mean, it ain't like I had to pass a ton of cars. You know, and we got lucky. My mom always redraws for me, so and there she is behind you. She's the one that redrew outside pole. So hey, I gotta give her the credit for getting me in that lucky starting spot.
Tell us about the folks that help you out here on the 14.
Oh, definitely. WDW Trucking, that's my parents. First Hauling, my brother. Frick Trucking, Irwin Racing Supply. Snap-On by Paul Wiener. Locomotions. Oh man, my girlfriend, she's not here, or my fiance actually, she's not here, so she's gonna kill me because I always win when she's not here. So, so yeah, you know, like I said, I truly want to thank the series and everybody for having IMCA back here. You know, we were wondering if it would even be IMCA allowed here, or not allowed, but if they're going to hold the class. So I appreciate them having. We'll definitely be back next week because we got that series race. But after that, Afton's a whole hour away from home, so it's a lot closer.
Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Will Ward takes the feature win tonight in the IMCA Modifieds. Send it back up to you, Mel, to close things out. So that was Will Ward after taking the win in the IMCA Modified Division. And I'll tell you right now, that's a guy to watch for this week's 25-lap IMCA Empire State Series event. Keep an eye on that 14 car if you're coming out to the track on Friday night. Before we step aside for this segment, we're going to hear from Chuck Winslow, Creekside Entertainment Street Stock feature winner. And he told us about his last lap move on Dylan Cece. Let's hear from Chuck Winslow. Got to get everything unbuckled here. Last lap pass for the win. Set him up perfect in turn number 4. Matter of fact, Mel, the pass was so good, he had him cleared by the finish line. He's going to climb out of here a happy camper. Ladies and gentlemen, your street stock winner, Chuck Winslow. Oh man, come right around here. Let's have a chat. I got to ask you about that move, man. Last lap, last corner, Cece pushes up the hill just enough to let you get by.
The last 2 laps, I decided to go. There's a really bad rut down in 3, so I decided to go above the rut, make the turn, and try to get the run down off the bottom.
Kind of diamond the corner a little bit.
Absolutely. That was the only way I was going to get it.
Well, it certainly worked. This car was a rocket ship tonight. You come up through the field, break into the top 5, and then get the win here tonight. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time over the winter on the front end of the car to try to get it through the corner a lot better. And it might have worked. I'm not sure.
Worked out okay.
Yeah. So far, so good.
Tell us about the folks that help you out here on the 61 car.
I really got to thank Larry Kennison from Precision, Mike McDonald, Joe Snell from Snell Metal Fab. I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody. Yeah, Kevin from Weiss Construction. You guys need work done, go to Weiss Construction.
How about the win on opening night here? You saw the crowds that were here tonight. Boy, what a season we're going to have on our hands here.
Yeah, and you know what? Give everybody a hand for being here on a Thursday night.
Yeah.
You know, that's a great call for those guys.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Chuck Winslow, tonight's Creekside Entertainment Street Stock feature winner. I don't even think I want to talk to you. Tonight's 50-50 winner. So there you have a few of the winners' interviews. We've got two more of them for you. And stick around. We're going to hear from Cody Baker and A.J. Piotrowski Jr., the first winner at the Outlaw Speedway. Stick around for those. We've got a lot more coming up here on Turn 5 Live on the Performance Motorsports Network, the voice of motorsports.
Parents, your son or daughter has had their license for a while now, but you want to make sure they're prepared for any situation they may face on the road. High school driver's ed doesn't teach them to drive defensively. They need to be prepared for any highway emergency. For less than a month's insurance, and a whole lot less, BSR instructors at Summit Point Motorsports Park in nearby Summit Point, West Virginia, will teach your son or daughter how to respond instantly and positively to unexpected situations on the road. BSR's specialized accident avoidance training teaches swerve to avoid maneuvers at highway speed, ocular driving, which focuses driving attention on ways to avoid accidents, vehicle dynamics and feedback, skid control and skid recovery, threshold braking on straights and progressive braking on curves, and off-road recovery techniques. This is stuff driver's ed simply doesn't teach. So call BSR today, 304-725-8444. Give your kid the skill set needed to drive safely and responsibly on the highway. That's 304-725-8444.
So when you get to the corner of Smith and Orchard, you're going to want to take a
You
left.
are not going to
then
believe
what you're
this.
going to do is turn
Marcy
onto Marcy
and Brad
Avenue
just broke up,
and go past
and apparently
the first three
she's
lights,
happy
and then
about
take
it.
the next left.
I don't really
Drive
think
5
she's
more
happy,
blocks,
but
and you should be
who am
there.
I to judge, right?
Park
anyway,
on the right.
That's
I'll
what
see
I
you
heard
later
last
tonight.
night.
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Creekside Entertainment is the official DJ, photo booth, and uplighting company of Turn 5 Live and the Performance Motorsports Network. Stuart Ovens and his staff at Creekside Entertainment are professional and experienced with events of any type. Creekside Entertainment specializes in wedding packages that are affordable and fun, and they are ready to serve you with the most up-to-date music and karaoke selection. If you can sing it in the shower, you can come out and sing it with Creekside Entertainment. And don't forget about the Creekside Entertainment photo booth and uplighting service that will transform your wedding or party into an event the family will be talking about for years. Trust the entertainment company that racers trust. Call Stu at area code 315-481-9700 or visit them online at creeksideentertainmentdj.com. You can also find them on Facebook and Twitter. Creekside Entertainment, division sponsor of the Black Rock Bandits in 2015.
Hi, race fans. This is the voice, Shane Andrews of the Big Block Modified Super Group Car Series, and you're listening to Turn 5 Live on PMN.
Oh, the voice, Shane Andrews, bringing us back from commercial break here on Turn 5 Live on the Performance Motorsports Network. Stephen Ovens, Clint Miller, Brad Ovens joining you on the show tonight. And we have interviews from Victory Lane at Outlaw Speedway on Thursday night. One interview that we don't have tonight, and I want to apologize for that. We don't have the interview with Bryce Davis as the announcer. Apparently ran out of space on his recorder on Thursday night. So when I hit record to record the interview with Bryce Davis, it kindly alerted me to the fact that I had no space left on the recorder. So apologies to Bryce Davis for not having his interview here tonight. But we did talk to him a few weeks ago on the show. And again, they've just been on a tear here of late. But
I'd have to guess, Steve, that you're probably going to talk to him again in Victory Lane at Outlaw Speedway.
I'm sure of that. I'm sure of that. Boy, they I don't know what they did to that GRT chassis, Clint, but boy, it doesn't matter where they go. I mean, and you think about the different tracks that they've had success on. Fulton, Canandaigua, a second place at Utica Rome, and now a win at Outlaw. think about how different all those tracks are, and they have just been on the money.
Yeah, on fire. And like you said, it doesn't matter where he goes, and it doesn't matter where he goes on the racetrack. High, low, in between, down the middle, up. It just doesn't matter. That car just goes forward.
No doubt about it. We did get to talk to Cody Baker in Victory Lane on Thursday night, and again, one of the more animated roof dances that we saw on Thursday night, getting a big crowd cheer going on in front of the grandstands there. Cody Baker, your 4-cylinder winner, he talked to us in Victory Lane about getting the win on Thursday night. Cody Baker, ladies and gentlemen, tonight's 4-cylinder feature winner. Come on down here so I can talk to you, man.
Jump, baby!
You told me 2 or 3 weeks ago at Woodhull, this is a 10-year-old car. You got a junkyard full of parts to keep it going. How'd you do it tonight?
Actually, it was luck. I didn't think it was going to stick on the bottom.
It worked out pretty well. You got Richie on the last lap, and you had to work to do it.
Yeah, it was. As soon as Richie got around me, he was walking away from me. I didn't think I had a thing. That last caution come out, and I was like, this is my last chance. Here we go. It's all or nothing.
Tell us about the folks that help you out.
First, I'd like to thank Greg Messler. He's a big help in the garage. There's a lot of sponsors on the car, but those are all about 5 years old. Then I'd like to thank Bears Auto Body for all their help.
Well, man, congratulations. Opening night win. How about that? First 4-cylinder win here at the new Outlaw Speedway.
I think my season's going pretty good so far.
I'd say so. Ladies and gentlemen, Cody Baker, tonight's 4-cylinder feature winner. You think he was a little excited, Mel?
I would say just a bit, yeah.
So Cody Baker, yeah, he was just more than a little bit excited on Thursday night. And again, he's another guy that's had such a great season so far, already has a win at Woodhull, has the points lead in the front-wheel drive division at Woodhull, now has a victory at Outlaw Speedway. So great run there for Cody Baker.
Can I say something before we go on?
Oh, absolutely.
There's been a lot of talk over the last week about the front-wheel drives versus rear-wheel drives. I don't know if you've been up on it on Facebook at all, Steve, but
just a little bit.
I just want to say this. You know, these guys can complain about the front-wheel drives running with the rear-wheel drives all they want to, okay? Cody Baker had the restart of a lifetime. You know, if that last caution doesn't come out, Richie walks away with it and nothing's even said. Just like he said, the caution came out, he went to the bottom, it stuck, and he was able to win the race. Now, when you look at you talk about Cody Baker, he's not the only front-wheel drive guy out there. There's 5, 6, 7 of them that were racing Thursday night. But you look at the back end of the top 5, Mustang, 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 Mustang. You know, you got one front-wheel drive car, doesn't make that, you know, the argument that everybody's complaining that a front-wheel drive shouldn't race the rear-wheel drive car.
Well, and Clint, here's a point that was made on this argument the other night, is the fact that Cody is one of the only ones to beat the rear-wheel drives.
He's the only one. He's the only one. 2 wins in 3 years, and we're having a big uproar because he has the restart of a lifetime, and, you know, he's able to beat Richie to the line.
Here's where I stand on it. I won't even get into whether the front wheel powers the car or the back wheels power the car. I don't even care about that. I'm not even going to go there. I'm not even going to get into that. Here's where I stand on it. I'm a numbers guy, and I look just at numbers. And when you look at the fact that we had 26, 27 cars for the 4 cylinders on Thursday night, and we ran them all together, and that's about the limit on how many of those cars you can put on the track at one time together. That was a good race. It was an exciting race. They were slicing and dicing all the way through the field. We had a couple of slowdowns, but nothing major. And it was a fantastic race. Why on earth would you want to split that up into a 13-car race and a 14-car race?
You know,
put them all together, man.
I agree with you. They put the street stocks together in Canandaigua. There's no reason why these guys can't be put together here at Outlaw Speedway. The only thing is, and maybe that might want to be something to be looked at in the rules, is I think the rule for the cage, I think the front wheel drives only have to have a 4-point cage where the Mustangs have a 6. And I think if that's the case, and Mark Wallenbeck was saying something about it, then I think that needs to be addressed just from a safety standpoint.
Couldn't agree with you more. So there's our soapbox for the night, right, Clint?
Yeah, that's it. I'm done.
Clint's gonna go home now.
Oh wait.
Yeah. AJ Petrobowski Jr. picked up the win in the Winter Circle Deli Bandit division. He was the first driver to put his name in the record books as an Outlaw Speedway victory, and boy, what a stat to be able to take with you throughout the rest of your career. He picked up the win on Thursday night. We talked to him in Victory Lane. Climbs up out of the car, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for AJ Petrobowski Jr. All right. How about that, folks? Get you right close up to the action here. Gets a congratulations from Dad. Let's bring him right out to the front of the car here so we can have a word with him. So first feature win, puts his name in the record books here at Outlaw Speedway. Congratulations, AJ. First question I've got, though. How much did you have to pay off your sister to run her car here tonight?
No, that was kind of a secret. We didn't really tell her that.
Oh, you hear that, folks? Somebody in Horseheads just found out, though, I can tell you that. I'll tell you what, man, for jumping in a car that you haven't been in yet, you went out there and just really put on a good show, and car looked like it was handling pretty good for you.
Yeah, it was a little loose coming out of 4, but other than that, it was perfect. Couldn't get a better car.
You've had some laps down at Woodhall. Now you've got some laps here at Outlaw. It's got to be good to be AJ Jr.
Yeah, it feels good to have 2 wins on the season.
Talk to us about the folks that help you out on the 72X here.
My dad, my grandpa, obviously my sister, me, Sensity, Candles, and Amanda, as you can see on the front.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for AJ Petrobowski Jr., first feature winner here at the all-new Outlaw Speedway. Now we'll send it back up to you. So AJ Jr., Clint, had a little splaining to do when he got home on Thursday night, taking his big sister's car and taking the win at Outlaw Speedway on Thursday night. He ran a phenomenal race. Again, there's 4 cars. It's a growing division. We knew it would be based on how many cars either had to move up or couldn't make it on Thursday night. So, you know, not a bad run for those guys there. Not only did we have coverage at Outlaw Speedway from Thursday night, we took a trip out to Chemung Speedrome on Sunday to check out all the action from opening day at the Drome. We'll hear from your top 2 Sunoco Modified finishers next here on Turn 5 Live on the Performance Motorsports Network, the voice of motorsports.
You own a performance car and you know how to drive, but you want to learn real performance driving. Well, Bunky, get that car off the street and onto the track. Summit Point Motorsports Park, the Mid-Atlantic's premier road racing facility, located just over an hour from D.C. in nearby Summit Point, West Virginia, is the place to go. And you'll find that Friday at the Track is going to give you what you need. For less than a monthly car payment, you can attend this regularly scheduled one-day instructional event in your street car on one of Summit Point's 3 world-class road racing circuits. You'll receive classroom instruction, skid pad instruction in their cars, including front and rear skid control, and 4 20-minute in-your-car instructional sessions from a professional instructor. Have fun, go fast, and really learn how to drive. Call 304-725-8444 for class schedules and details. That's 304-725-8444. Friday at the Track at Summit Point Motorsports Park.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Here's an important message from RAD and this station.
Hi, this is Bob Sheehan from Blues Traveler for RAD, recording artists against drunk driving. I like to party just as much as the next guy, maybe even more. But the one thing I won't do after I've had a few is get in the car and drive. Don't blow it. Always choose a designated driver. Remember, music lives and so should you.
Motorsports Sales Professionals. Performance Motorsports is looking to build a team of experienced media sales professionals to represent our programming to the industry's top companies, magazines, and racing series. If you have motorsports sales or marketing experience, know how to work with agencies, understand social media, and are incredibly creative when it comes to working with clients and promotions, then we want to hear from you. Top performers are richly rewarded. Your imagination is the only limit here. Call 717-749-0444. That's 717-749-0444, or email us at scorpionradiogroup@gmail.com. You want to ask for Sue.
Hi, race fans. This is Brett Deo, and you're listening to Turn 5 Live on PMN.
Welcome back, race fans, to Turn 5 Live here on the Performance Motorsports Network. Brett Deo bringing us back from commercial break. And Brett Deo, busy guy tonight, Clint. Big Diamond taking place down there. I believe that's the anthracite assault down there in coal country. They avoided the weather somehow. And I'll be honest with you, I've got to take a look. I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with it, Clint, on Twitter tonight. But, boy, I know Penn canceled earlier in the day. Not exactly sure how things are going so far for the Short Track Super Series, as wet weather was in the forecast today, but they thought they might miss it down there.
Yeah, I haven't been keeping track with it, Steve. Let me do a little recon here, and while we're getting our next segment started, and
absolutely
go from there. Yeah.
All right, let us know what you come up with. Yeah, we are going out to the Chemung Speedrome from action on Sunday, and let me tell you, folks, if you were at Chemung Speedrome, you know what I'm talking about. It was chilly, it was windy, and I'll tell you, the fans that came out in attendance on Sunday, some hardy race fans, some dedicated race fans, because I'll be honest with you, I kind of wimped out and had to go to the tower for the feature event because it was a little bit brisk out there, shooting some photos for the Morning Times, and so it's it was an interesting day for sure, and picking up the win on opening night, or actually I should say opening day for the Sunoco Modifieds, a 40-lapper there on Saturday or Sunday afternoon, and Tony Hanberry, our buddy Coley, Tom Cole, and all the folks there on the Hanberry crew were left Chemung Sunday quite happy with their performance as Hanberry picked up the win. He worked on Zach Curran from about, I'm going to guess, lap 15 all the way to lap 36, and finally got by, and Hanberry was scored as the leader as they clicked off lap 37. And I'll tell you, he had a shot at Curran with 10 laps to go, dove down on the inside of turn 1, and Curran didn't see him there, so Hanberry spikes the brakes, got into Curran just a little bit. Both cars got out of shape. Hanberry backs off the gas, lets Curran go, and they go back at it for the last 10 laps. So what a sportsmanship move, and that was just an entertaining race to watch. In the end, Tony Hanberry would take the lead with 3 to go in lap traffic. He would get the win over Zach Curran, Gene Sharpstein, Charlie Sharpstein, and Jimmy Zacharias, who blew an engine in the heat and had to drive Cody Jackson's number 99 car for the feature. Nick Morich, Jody Buckley, Jesse Kent, Zach Nolden, Connor Sellers were the top 10 heat races to TJ Zacharias and Zach Curran. Let's hear from your winner, Tony Hanberry, post-race after taking the opening day win at the Chemung Speedrome.
No, we're still going to do this.
Tony Hanberry picks up the win here on opening day at the Chemung Speedrome. Tony, I tell you, man, you had to work for that one to get around Zach Curran for the win.
Yeah, he had a really good car. Even TJ Zacharias had a great car. We started third. We were running third for a while. I got around TJ on a restart and got to Zach, and he was running a good line. Yeah. And I think it was 10 to go or so. I got underneath him coming out of 4 on the front stretch and went down to 1, and I didn't know if he could see me or not. And when I realized he couldn't, I was on the brakes trying to get out of it and got him crisscrossed up, and I backed off, let him gather up. I didn't want to do it like that. And he had a great car, and it's nice to be back to Chemung.
Everybody gathered it back in. You guys went to work again for the last 10 laps, and you threw everything you had at him, but in the end, him sliding just a little high in turn 4 in lap traffic was the difference.
Yeah, it was lap traffic. The only other way I was going to get around him was rough him up a little bit, and I didn't want to do that. We got a long season. We're not going to be here every week anyway, and I think he is, so I didn't want to mess him up like that. It was a good race, and I'm looking forward to some more on Friday nights.
Talk about the upcoming schedule for you guys here.
We're going to do as much as we can here. I don't know if it's going to be every week. And then we're going to do the RLC races with the modified and some stuff up to Lancaster on Saturdays. But we'll probably be here quite a bit. I don't know. It depends on crew guys and the rest of our schedule. We're going to be a couple nights a week here the next month or so racing. So we're looking forward to come back.
Over the last year or more, you guys have had just some awesome runs in this 21 car. Talk about these guys that help you out.
Yeah, last 2 years, all the big races at the end of the year, we've won them or finished, top 3 with them. And last year, I think we won them all at the end of the year. And we're looking forward to coming here at the end of the year for the RLC finale, and it got rained out. So, this is all Dan Krzyzewski stuff, Costies, and Tommy Gush. He's the main man behind this and keeps it going. And his grandson Mike Bolin and my cousin Josh and all the guys that help out, all the Ulrichs, and my girlfriend Ashley. They, once we get going here, it's going to be 2-3 nights a week we're racing. So it's a lot of racing, and I'm looking forward to the summer.
Well, you put on a hell of a show for the fans today. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tony Hanberry takes the win on opening day here at the Chemung Speedrome. So there you have it from Tony Hanberry. Just a great race that they had themselves on Sunday afternoon. And Curran would end up coming home in second after leading the first 36 out of 40 laps on Sunday afternoon. We spoke with Curran post-race, and these were his comments. Post-race here at the Chemung Speedrome, Zach Curran and Tony Hanberry discussing the finish of tonight's feature event. Zach Curran leads up until lap number 36 when Hanberry was able to work his way through in lap traffic. We'll talk to Zach Curran now, and Zach, I'll tell you that the 94 car was so fast today. Led the first 36 laps. Tell us about your run.
Yeah, our car was pretty good. Kind of got tight towards the end, and the motor started to flatten out some, which didn't help us any. Tony had a few more horsepower than we did, but overall our car was really strong today, and we need to just get a few things figured out, get the motor situation straightened out, and I think we'll be in really good shape for a championship here this year.
Being that you guys are running here the full season, what a great way to start the season.
Couldn't ask for anything better.
Talk to us, about 10 laps to go. Tony was trying to make a move, realized that you couldn't see him down there. You guys made a little contact. Both of you guys got out of shape, but gathered it back in and then went to battle again for the last 10 laps. Talk us through that.
Yeah, I thought I could hear Tony there, but I wasn't really sure. I mean, I couldn't see him or anything, so I didn't give him a whole lot of room. And he had it in there a little bit, which was fine. We were just racing. I've raced with Tony for a long time. I know how he goes, and I know how I race. So we've had our issues before, but we're good now, and I really like racing with him. He got into me, and we both got crossed up a little bit there, and he let me gather it back up, and we kept on going and had no issues. So that was no big deal to me. Tony's a hard racer, I'm a hard racer, so we're going to have more issues like that in the future, but as long as we can talk about it and shake hands afterwards, we'll be fine. And I think that we will be fine for the future. So
I would say so. I mean, led the first 36 laps today. Just lap traffic there at the end seemed like, and the tight condition on your car seemed to be the difference today.
Yep, yeah, the lap cars there at the end really didn't help us at all. I think I could have held them off had we not come into those lap cars, but we did come into the lap cars. So I was trying to stay as close as I could to the one lapper there, and I got so tight in the center, I pushed up too far, and that allowed Tony to sneak underneath me. So that is what it is. I can't complain. We've had a really great points day already for the first day. I mean, you can't give any up to some of these guys that you're racing with. So I'm really happy. I wish the motor would have stayed running a little bit better. Like I said, it kind of flattened out, but altogether we had a really good day.
Great run today for second.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Zach Curran will bring the 94 home in the second spot here on opening night at Chemung. So not a bad run for Zach Curran. Comes home second. I'm sure he would have liked to hold on to get the win, but Tony Hanbury gets the opening night win for the Sunoco Modifieds.
Class act. Obviously he didn't have to back off when he got Zach sideways. But he did, he's come a long ways. He's had a bad reputation, early in his career about moving guys out of the way. Him and the Zachariases have had run-ins all the time. But it seems like he's kind of grown into his own and become a knowledgeable and a guy that you want running side by side with you door to door to get you to the checkered flag.
It was just a fantastic race there on Sunday afternoon. It was really a treat to get to watch that from high above. I want to thank Carol Husick for inviting us out to cover all the action. And again, check out the Turn 5 Live Facebook page. We've got photo albums from each division posted up on the page from Sunday afternoon. Taking the win in the Super Stocks in a race that was shortened to 15 laps, Frank Chapman hadn't been to Chemung in 39 years, picked up the win on a last lap pass of Tim Gulo. Not a lot of guys can say they've done that at Chemung, but Frank Chapman got the win. Rick Frisco, Chad Lane, and Nick Robinson, the top five. Robinson had an issue with the engine and wasn't able to finish, or else he and Gulo and Chapman would have put on a great battle for the win there. Four-cylinder division, Monica Green, got a feel for her on Sunday afternoon. She led a majority of the four-cylinder feature, only to lose it in the last lap to Maddie Wirtz. Maddie Wirtz in the 27 car took the win. Green came home second, Jordan Matthews third, Zach Janes fourth, Tristan Klein the top five. Inex Legends, she's the two-time defending champion, and she did a roof dance and all on Sunday after picking up the win. That was Alexandria Smith in the 99 car taking the victory on Sunday afternoon. Brandon DeBracalier was second, Alex McCullum third, Pat Judson fourth, David French the top five. Inex Legends had a whale of a crash on the front stretch about, I'm going to say, in the first half of that event. About 6-7 cars involved. You had a wheel rolling down the track that just got completely sheared off. It took the hub and everything with it rolling down the track. They had just a wild crash there about halfway through, but everybody was A-okay after that one. Bandoleros, Garrett Zacharias, first career win after picking up Rookie of the Year honors in 2015. He got his first career Chemung win in the Bandolero division on Sunday afternoon. Teddy Bowen came home in the second spot. Bryce Bailey was third. Gage Michael fourth. Dominic Wood, your top five finishers. That, my friends, the action from the Chemung Speedrome. We've got a whole lot more coming up here, guys. We're going to talk Paradise Speedway. We're going to talk quickly about the results from out at 5 Mile Point. as well as Skyline got some racing in. Clint Miller is going to bring us back from commercial with an update from Big Diamond for the Short Track Super Series. And then we've also got Brad Ovens has put together a Winged Warrior highlight package for tonight, talking about the action between the CRSA 305 Sprints, the Patriot Sprint Tour, and the Lucas Oil Empire Super Sprint. So we are looking forward to that. Going winged racing here on Turn 5 Live. Stay with us, folks. Got a lot more coming up here on the Performance Motorsports Network, the voice of motorsports.
For 17 years, Stock Car Steel has been a leading materials supplier to the racing industry. Now they're also an official motorsports content partner of Race Chaser Online. The biggest names in NASCAR trust Stock Car Steel for all their raw materials, such as carbon steel, chrome moly, DOM, aluminum, plastics, and much, much more. You can't build a race car without the basic materials, and Stock Car Steel is the place to get them. Don't forget to also visit Stock Car Steel's sister company, SRI Supplies, for racing and industry. SRI is your #1 source for all your shop supply needs. Nuts, bolts, rivets, tapes, adhesives, cutting tools, chemicals, body shop supplies, paint shop supplies, lubricants, and more. A well-stocked race shop is a winning race shop, and the road to winning begins with 3 letters, SRI. For more information, visit stockcarsteel.com and SRI-supplies.com. You can also find them on Facebook at Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, or call either company toll-free at 1-888-752-7272.
Creekside Entertainment is the official DJ, photo booth, and uplighting company of Turn 5 Live and the Performance Motorsports Network. Stuart Ovens and his staff at Creekside Entertainment are professional and experienced with events of any type. Creekside Entertainment specializes in wedding packages that are affordable and fun, and they are ready to serve you with the most up-to-date music and karaoke selection. If you can sing it in the shower, you can come out and sing it with Creekside Entertainment. And don't forget about the Creekside Entertainment photo booth and uplighting service that will transform your wedding or party into an event the family will be talking about for years. Trust the entertainment company that racers trust. Call Stu at area code 315-481-9700 or visit them online at creeksideentertainmentdj.com. You can also find them on Facebook and Twitter. Creekside Entertainment, division sponsor of the Black Rock Bandits in 2015.
We're growing like crazy and need account reps who know their way around agencies, the internet, and social media. Got connections? Or do you know how to get to the decision makers? Are you fearless? We need you. Internet radio, or as we call it, wireless mobile radio, is rapidly becoming the place to be with almost limitless income potential. So contact us to get involved with the fastest growing professionally produced group of internet radio stations in the world. Your imagination is the only limit here. Call 717-749-0444. That's 717-749-0444. Or you can email us at scorpionradiogroup@gmail.com. You want to ask for Sue.
Hi, race fans. This is Mills Family Racing, and you're listening to Turn 5 Live on PMN.
Welcome back, race fans, to Turn 5 Live here on the Performance Motorsports Network. We've got Stephen Ovens, Brad Ovens, Clint Miller joining us on the show tonight here. We've been talking a lot of dirt track racing. And Clint, I know you've got an update for us from Big Diamond, the Short Track Super Series, in a rain-delayed event from last Tuesday night. Running tonight down at Big Diamond, what do you got for us?
Short Track Super Series, Big Diamond, they had 51 cars in attendance.
Wow.
Yeah, great turnout. 5 heats. Heat winners were Craig Van Doren, Eric Rudolph, Brett Cressley, Jerry Higbee, Dwayne Howard. We got Anthony Prego down there, Billy Pouch, Stuart Friesen, Danny Johnson, Matt Shepard driving Norm Hansel's 357. Now, I just want to go here and this is the consies I got up right now, and I just want to give you some names that are in the consies. Consi 1, Mike Mahaney, Nick Nye, Billy Pouch. Consi 2, Jackie Brown, Danny Johnson, Tommy Meyer, who's won a lot here recently. Matt Shepard's in Consi 3, Billy Pouch Jr. It's just crazy the amount of talent that's going to be coming out of the consies, if they even come out of the consi.
Right. I mean, Brett Deo, I mean, this has always been labeled kind of a working man's modified series. And, boy, that's incredible when you think about it, Clinton. And 51 cars. I mean, what a turnout.
Yeah, 51 cars on a Tuesday night. It's done. And the track, if you go to the Short Track Super Series Twitter page, they put some video up of the track, and it just looks in fantastic race shape.
Yeah, and they were posting pictures all day long about what the weather was going to be doing there, and so good for them to be able to get that show in because it was dicey. So good for those guys. And if we get any other updates, I know Clint will keep us up to speed here as we get closer to the con-season features. I don't think we'll have feature results here tonight, but if we get anything else that comes across the wire, we'll be sure to share that in time. So, Brad, speaking of this weekend's results, you got to take a trip out to the Paradise Speedway in Geneva, New York, for their Saturday night racing action. One of few tracks that got the action in on Saturday night in the Finger Lakes and Southern Tier. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, I tell you what, you guys, I got there and it was sprinkling and it was raining. I thought I had made a huge mistake. It was kind of one of those deals that's like, do I really want to come in and, if they rain out and I get a rain check, am I going to be able to come back and use it? But I'm glad I stuck it out. We actually got to work with Nick Legret and Carmen Moss and Mike Moss and all the crew over there. Nick, the head flagger, and Nick Fultz and I actually got to man the Moss Mobile for the safety crew. So doing a little bit of work over there. Got some results here for the go-karts. Junior 2, Cole Dresser picked up the win. Junior 1, Hayden Dresser picked up the win in that class. Junior Restricted, Ethan Olmstead picked up the win over Tyler Mole, Sabrina Palmer, Carmen Bussey, and Nathan Vanderwall. The three-wheelers, they're running three-wheelers over there now. That was pretty cool to see. 200cc three-wheelers, Rich Lilly over Fred Morrell, Justin Putman, Matt Kemp, Timothy Briggs, and Daryl Patterson. 250 open three-wheelers, Fred Morrell, Brian Raffa, Justin Putman, Matt Kemp, Brian Every, Alan Pack, Thomas Briggs, and Daryl Patterson for that class. The four-cylinder race over there, I'll tell you what, guys, you want to talk about a battle of the front-wheel drive versus rear-wheel drive. I hate to say it, but the Flying X, Rich Sharpstein, got ousted by a front-wheel drive one more time. Chris Bonofsky won that in the 113. The Flying X of Rich Sharpstein was second. James Warner was third. Evan Wright fourth. Timmy Borden fifth. And Colby Herzog rounded out that class for the four cylinders. Clone Heavy went to...
Hey, Brad, before you go on, say that four cylinders name again, because that name rung a bell.
Which one?
The four-cylinder feature winner.
Chris Bonofsky.
Clint, I'm thinking that was the front-wheel drive winner from last fall when it was still Black Rock Speedway. If I'm not mistaken, that Bonofsky, that name rings a bell.
It does ring a bell. I'm not sure where I heard it, but you're absolutely right. Somewhere along the lines, it's been in Winner's Circle, I believe, at Black Rock Speedway last year. I think you're right.
Okay.
Yeah, guys, Saturday night he was in Winner's Circle by about a half a track, so I believe that car was hooked up and fast.
Yikes.
More kart racing with a Clone Heavy. Patrick Murray picking up the win over Vance Palmer, Devin Bush. Clone Light went to Joshua Peters over Jamie Murray and Mike Weiger. Opens went to a guy who's been racing go-karts over at Paradise back when we were still racing go-karts at Paradise. Bill Porter picked up the win in the Opens over CJ Casterline, and Cliff Casterline unfortunately had some issues during the heat race, wasn't able to make it back out. They had one quad for the tight track come in. Andy Lamphere picking up the win for the quads. And then we go to the 600 Pros, where all of the action stood for the night. Picking up the win for the 600 Pros was Nick Groft in his number 16 ride over Mickey Calabro, Shelby Ozali. I apologize if I'm not pronouncing these names right. Matt Smith, Eric Wise, and Nick Fossey. Dylan Westerbrook, Matt Sabins, Billy the Kid Coffee, and Dan Nagel. And we got to spend out a special shout out to John Kreckman, who put the excitement in the night with the 600 micros. If you haven't seen the video, he is the one, well, the partial video before I had to jump in the car to go make sure he was okay. But he was the one that we had the partial video of our live feed from the track, who went flipping up over the bank and luckily landed right on the top of the bank there. And he was okay. We got the car flipped back over. Luckily, if you watch the video real slow, you can kind of see the weight transferred over onto the left rear tire. And with those 600 micros, when you transfer the weight like that real quick, it went wing first into the bank, which really helped him a lot, and kind of landed on the wing and went up the bank and landed semi-soft, but he got a lot of airtime. He got a lot of airtime. You can see it in the video clip there, but right before I shoved it back into my pocket. But he was okay. We got the car flipped over. He climbed out. Nothing worse for the wear. So a little work on the car, and they'll be ready to go. But, man, I'll tell you what, some great racing action over at the Paradise Speedway.
Well, Brad, thank you for those highlights. And you talked about Bill Porter. Brad, I'm going to take it even further than you went. Not only was Bill Porter racing when we were racing go-karts, which seems like forever ago, I'm sure Bill Porter was racing go-karts when we weren't even yet a twinkle in the eye. Back when Clint was a little kid, a little tyke going to the races. So,
yeah, I believe it.
I had to get a little dig there, but Brad bringing us those results from Paradise Speedway, and Brad also brought us some Winged Warrior highlights, some from the CRSA 305 sprints, the PST Patriot Sprint Tour, as well as the Lucas Oil Empire Super Sprints. Brad giving us a little bit of things to come here in the next couple of races here. So why don't we toss it off to Brad's Winged Warrior highlights? Well, Brad, I think maybe we got the file mixed up there. I know that's the music bed there, but we'll work on that for the next segment. Brad put a nice Winged Warrior highlight package together for us, so we'll work on fitting that in here before the show goes off the air tonight at 9:30. But I assure you, it's definitely worth the wait. Brad did a nice job.
You gotta love live radio. You gotta love it.
You do gotta love it. We've got a couple seconds here, Clint, before we hit a break here, and then we'll come back and we'll retry the Winged Warrior update. But Clint, you've got Saturday night. Skyline tried to get the racing program in. They looked pretty good for a while, but then the rain came toward the end of the night. And but you got to give Skyline a hand for giving it a try, because most every other place except for Lebanon Valley said, yeah, we're not even going to try this. Yeah, there was a lot of question marks on Saturday night for sure, and I had actually toyed with the notion to go into Fulton as I ventured to Brewerton on Friday night. And I just kind of wanted to knock a couple tracks off my list, and somebody said that Fulton was a really neat place to go watch a race. Oh, so, it is. Down inside a bowl is what I've been told. Yep. So I was kind of curious to hit that up, but unfortunately, Mother Nature wouldn't let me. So, the term that comes to mind, Clint, Woodhull Raceway on steroids. Ah. So. That's how I would describe Fulton, because it is. It's like a big bowl looking down in on the track, but the grandstands wrap all the way around turn 4 and head off toward turn 3, and then stop where the pits come into play. And that is if you've never been to Fulton before, that is certainly a great place to go watch a race. And Clint, talking about Brewerton, and I guess we can get into more of this on the other side of the break, but Brewerton's not a bad place to go catch a race at either. So,
No, not at all. Especially they got a new set of grandstands in turn 4, or actually they go part way into, in between 3 and 4 out to 4, and then there's an opening before you get to the straightaway. And what a great place to watch a race, because you can see them all coming at you, and then you can see the back of the cars going down the front straight. But then coming out of 2, when they come out of the dust, you can pick your guys right back up. And what a fantastic place to watch a race. Nice short little third mile, really enjoyable.
All right, very good. Well, we'll step aside here. When we come back, we'll have Brad's Winged Warrior highlights, and then we'll talk about 5 Mile Point and Skyline, what races they were able to get in before weather affected both of those shows on Saturday and Sunday. Thanks for sticking around. You're listening to Turn 5 Live here on the Performance Motorsports Network, the voice of motorsports.
We're growing like crazy and need account reps who know their way around agencies, the internet, and social media. Got connections? Or do you know how to get to the decision makers? Are you fearless? We need you. Internet radio, or as we call it, wireless mobile radio, is rapidly becoming the place to be with almost limitless income potential. So contact us to get involved with the fastest growing professionally produced group of internet radio stations in the world. Your imagination is the only limit here. Call 717-749-0444. That's 717-749-0444. Or you can email us at scorpionradiogroup@gmail.com. You want to ask for Sue.
Okay, so Sarah, I'm dropping you off at Emily's?
Yep.
And Josh, you're going to?
Soccer, Dad. Soccer practice.
Right. Oh, by the way, I just wanted to let you know when I pick you both up, I'll be wearing my short shorts.
What? No!
Yep, and my dorky dad hat, and I'm going to do my dad dance for all your friends. They'll love it!
Seriously? Why?
Because I like my short shorts. Of course, I could be talked out of it if you guys would just buckle up your seatbelts without giving me a hard time.
It's important to get your kids to buckle up for safety, no matter what it takes. And sometimes, all it takes is your parental powers of persuasion.
Okay, we're buckling up. See, all buckled.
Good choice. I'll just have to do my dad dance at dinner time. What?
No!
Do what you have to make sure your kids are wearing their seatbelts, even on short drives. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. Visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup for more information.
If you're a gearhead and you just can't get enough of your favorite motorsports on that channel on the cable, or you look at that Guy network and you just go, what does that have to do with me? We have the answer. Performance Motorsports Network. Right here on the internet. The best cruising tunes, the best in motorsports programming, and the best shows. We have opinionated hosts, and we like it that way. If you want to get involved, if you want to bench race, be listening for information coming up soon right here on this channel, the Performance Motorsports Network, your source for motorsports.
Hi race fans, this is Mel Thomas from Thomas Video, and you're listening to Turn 5 Live on PMN.
Welcome back, race fans, to Turn 5 Live here on the Performance Motorsports Network. Stephen and Brad Ovens, Clint Miller joining you on the program tonight. Getting ready to close out the show here in the next 30 minutes. We've got some things that we'll get tossed out to you, and the first of which I think we're all set now with the Winged Warrior highlight package. We'll see what Brad has put together for us, talking both 305 sprint cars as well as 360 sprint cars. And we will get to that now. So let's go ahead, Barry. Let's roll the Winged Warrior highlight package.
And now it's time for the Turn 5 Live Winged Warrior highlights. Coming up this Friday on May 20th, the CRSA Sprint Cars head their way to Pencan Speedway in Susquehanna, PA. Scott Goodrich leads the CRSA Sprint Cars in the point standings, followed by Kyle Smith, Christian Rumsey, Eddie Strada, Brett Jaycox 5th, Thomas Radavoy, Dana Wagner, Josh Flint, Dalton Herrick, and Tyler Jeshambowski rounding out the top 10 in points for the CRSA Sprint Cars. You can catch them at the Pencan Speedway this Friday in Susquehanna, PA. Mike Emhoff's Patriot Sprint Tour will have the week off, followed by Albany, Saratoga, and Fonda Speedway on May 27th and 28th. Patriot Sprint Tour American Series being led by the Canadian Steve Poirier, followed by Brian Howland, Jason Barney, Jared Zimbardi, and Dana Lorank, Paulie Coligiovanni, Paul Habeck, Steve Dole, Jeff Cook, and Mitch Brown, rounding out the top 10 for the American Patriot Sprint Tour point standings. The Lucas Oil Empire Super Sprints will head Friday, May 20th to the Outlaw Speedway for the makeup of the Outlaw Spring National, $2,000 to win, followed by Saturday, May 21st, heading down to the Sealands Grove Speedway, $2,000 to win, $400 to start for the Mach 1 Chassis Spectacular. The Lucas Oil Empire Super Sprints 2016 Tour point standings. Sitting on top of the standings, Steve Poirier, knowing where he's going. Danny Barron, Brian Howland, Jason Barney, Justin Barger. Rounding out the top 5, Larry White, Paul Kinney, Tommy Wickham, Matt Tanner, and Parker Evans. Rounding out the top 10 for their tour points for 2016 Lucas Oil Empire Super Sprints. And that is your Turn 5 Live Winged Warrior highlights.
Well, there you go. Thank you, Brad Ovens, for that package. I love it. I want some. I want some more Winged Warrior highlights, man. That's awesome. And Brad goes silent. I do. I liked that. That was cool. And
I may have figuratively and literally dropped the mic.
Yeah, he did drop the mic. Good stuff there, though. The Winged Warriors always put on a good show. Doesn't matter what track they're at. We talked about Winged Warriors, Brad, and Woodhall Raceway dropped a show on Saturday, their first rain out of the season. And if you can believe that, mid-May, before Woodhall drops a show to rain. And so the Patriot Sprint Tour will be rescheduled for Saturday, June 11th. At the Woodhall Raceway, and of course, that date getting rescheduled on top of a date that I can't be at Woodhall. So, little bummer there, because I do love watching the sprint cars at Woodhall. That is just a fantastic show. If you've never been there to see it, I know Clint feels the same way. He tells everybody, if you haven't seen the sprint cars at Woodhall, you got to do it at least once.
Absolutely. I love watching those sprint cars on that little bull ring. Some of them guys will do front wheel stands down 3/4 of the straightaway. It's spectacular.
Yeah, it's a good show for sure. So that show from Saturday night getting scheduled over to June 11th. Clint, any other updates coming in from Big Diamond?
Nope, they must be at intermission. The only thing I do have is they did the draw, and Ryan Watt drew the pole for the feature race.
Do you have the rest of the rundown there? We could go through that if you got it.
Give me just a second.
Okay. Very good. We had racing from 5 Mile Point Speedway. They got some of their show in on Sunday before actually, and this was kind of crazy to see, but they actually had a snow delay on Sunday. Now, let me just step back here for a second, guys. They had a snow delay on Sunday evening on May 15th. Are you kidding me?
No, I believe it because I had a snow delay when I was trying to mow the lawn.
Oh, I couldn't believe it. And actually, if you guys are following along tonight and you're listening in, or even if you're listening on the YouTube page afterwards this week, do yourself a favor. Look up 5 Mile Point Speedway on Facebook, and you can see in the picture with the Crate Sportsman winner, you can see him climb out of the car, and there's snowflakes in the air while he is jumping out with the checkered flag. They did have to stop that race due to the weather, but picking up the win on Sunday was Andrew Smith They had to call the race official after 28 laps due to snow. Dale Welty, what a strong second-place run for the driver out of Montour Falls after picking up a win Thursday night at Outlaw. Kyle Roner, Rocky Warner, and Mike Austin, the top 5. Then it was Randy Fox, Mike Jackson, a nice 7th-place run, Marty Bunker, Tom Collins, and Stacy Jackson, the top 10. Dave Sims picked up the win in the Lightning Cat Expert. Jimmy DeFulvio won the Lightning Cat Novice feature event, while Jeremy Williams picked up the win in the Factory Stock division. Marty Kelly III picked up the win in the Tobias Slingshot, and the Empire State IMCA Modified feature had been postponed until Saturday the 23rd. So again, the Empire State Series event postponed due to the weather, and that has been postponed until Saturday the 23rd. Then the Star Series Street Stock feature, that has been postponed to Tuesday, July 23rd. And without looking at the schedule, I do believe July 23rd is the Super Dirt Car Series event at 5 Mile Point. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that Street Stock, the Star Series Street Stock feature, moved to that date in July, and I believe that might be the Super Dirt race. But that also, I think, falls somewhere around Eldora and Sharon as well, so I could be wrong on that one. But
is there an entry fee? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, Lord, here we go.
Wow.
Shots fired.
Call the popo. Shots are fired.
Bad boys.
What you gonna do?
Hey, I got an update from Big Diamond on the mod redraw.
All right, give it to me, brother.
Top 10, Ryan Watt draws the pole over Dwayne Howard, Stuart Friesen, Jeff Hetzler, Andy Bicchetti, who incidentally came from 9th starting spot to 2nd in his heat. Jerry Higbee, Rudolph Kressley, Von Doren, and Go Down round out your redraws. Go Down actually had motor problems coming to the checkered flag, so he's been scratched for the night. What a disappointment that is.
Oh, that's a bummer. Ouch. But, man, you look at the front of the field for that one, for the redraw, my goodness. Ryan Watt, Dwayne Howard, Stuart Friesen, Jeff Hetzler, Andy Bicchetti, Higbee. I mean, good grief. Look at all those names at the front. Yeah, that's going to be a battle right from the drop of the green rag.
Yeah, that's going to be a slobber knocker for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. So that was the action. We were just talking about 5 Mile Point Speedway. Now let's take a look at Skyline Raceway as they tried to get their event in on Saturday night, but ended up having weather move in just a little bit. So they were not able to get all of it in. But, boy, I'll tell you, I was a little shocked to see this one. How about it for the Crate Sportsman feature winner, Brandon Butler? What a shock that was. A regular at the Woodhall Raceway. And not a shock that he picked up the win, but we don't normally see him out at Skyline. Of course, with Woodhall raining out, Butler decides to pack it up, head out to Skyline, and they picked up a win. He got the win over Nick Nye, Andrew Smith, which, those two names right there, Nick Nye, Andrew Smith, two of the best in the area out with Skyline, 5 Mile Point, and Penn Can. I mean, boy, you beat two of the best there. Lance and Albanese and Scott Smith, the top 5. Then in the Open Sportsman, it was Kevin Jordan getting the win there over A.J. Lord, Bill Leonard, Jason Tuttle, and Brent Cross. And that was about all they got in, because then the weather came in after that and pretty much knocked things out there. So not a bad run there for Brandon Butler. Congratulations to him. That was pretty cool to see. But guys, we're going to step aside here. When we come back, we are going to wrap things up as we get ready to take the white flag tonight on this edition of Turn 5 Live, right here on the Performance Motorsports Network, the voice of motorsports.
For 17 years, Stock Car Steel has been a leading materials supplier to the racing industry. Now they're also an official motorsports content partner of Race Chaser Online. The biggest names in NASCAR trust Stock Car Steel for all their raw materials, such as carbon steel, chrome moly, DOM, aluminum, plastics, and much, much more. You can't build a race car without the basic materials, and Stock Car Steel is the place to get them. Don't forget to also visit Stock Car Steel's sister company, SRI Supplies, for racing and industry. SRI is your number one source for all your shop supply needs. Nuts, bolts, rivets, tapes, adhesives, cutting tools, chemicals, body shop supplies, paint shop supplies, lubricants, and more. A well-stocked race shop is a winning race shop, and the road to winning begins with 3 letters, SRI. For more information, visit stockcarsteel.com and SRI-supplies.com. You can also find them on Facebook at Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, or call either company toll-free at 1-888-752-7272.
Creekside Entertainment is the official DJ, photo booth, and uplighting company of Turn 5 Live and the Performance Motorsports Network. Stuart Ovens and his staff at Creekside Entertainment are professional and experienced with events of any type. Creekside Entertainment specializes in wedding packages that are affordable and fun, and they are ready to serve you with the most up-to-date music and karaoke selection. If you can sing it in the shower, you can come out and sing it with Creekside Entertainment. And don't forget about the Creekside Entertainment photo booth and uplighting service that will transform your wedding or party into an event the family will be talking about for years. Trust the entertainment company that racers trust. Call Stu at area code 315-481-9700 or visit them online at creeksideentertainmentdj.com. You can also find them on Facebook and Twitter. Creekside Entertainment, division sponsor of the Black Rock Bandits in 2015.
We're growing like crazy and need account reps who know their way around agencies, the internet, and social media. Got connections? Or do you know how to get to the decision makers? Are you fearless? We need you. Internet radio, or as we call it, wireless mobile radio, is rapidly becoming the place to be with almost limitless income potential. So contact us to get involved with the fastest growing professionally produced group of internet radio stations in the world. Your imagination is the only limit here. Call 717-749-0444. That's 717-749-0444. Or you can email us at scorpionradiogroup@gmail.com. You want to ask for Sue.
Hi, race fans. This is Matt Shepard, and you're listening to Turn 5 Live on PMN.
Super Matt Shepard bringing us back from commercial break here on Turn 5 Live, taking the white flag for tonight's edition. And folks, again, don't forget you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Turn5Live. You can find us on Twitter at Turn5Live, and you can also listen to all of our archived episodes. If you missed a driver interview or just flat out missed this week's show, you can find it on youtube.com and search Turn 5 Live. And again, for all of the news, views, driver interviews, and feature stories, check out racechaseronline.com daily for all of the best. We've got an audio recap from Sunday at Chemung up on the page right now as well. So if you want to read up on all of the details of everything that happened at Chemung, we've got that up on Race Chaser's website. And coming out in the next day or two, we've got a special feature story on a local dirt sportsman driver that revealed the gender of their twin babies in quite a unique way. So stay tuned to racechaseronline.com for that story. We caught up with both of those lucky future parents-to-be to talk about their gender reveal and how they used the race car to do so. So I thought that was pretty interesting and unique. And coming up on Thursday on Race Chaser Online, we're going to have our Broadside and Blog, our weekly dish on everything dirt. And we're going to do a retrospective this week on weeknight racing. We saw Penn Can do it with success last week. We saw certainly Outlaw Speedway do it with success on Thursday night. And then this weekend with rainouts, Clint, I saw a few other tracks posting on the forums between Race NY and Dirt Track Digest about the fact that what would the fans think about our track trying a Monday night or a Thursday night race? Because some of these tracks, Clint, are just struggling to get races in due to the rain.
Yeah, well, these guys didn't work their butts off all winter long to get rained out week in and week out, and we saw that with Tyler. If sometime you got to do something different, you got to throw a wrench into it, and hopefully that wrench, turns the course of Mother Nature around and gets your days all mixed up and opens up your weekly racing night for some great racing action.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's been tough sledding here, the April and starting to into May now. I mean, I didn't realize this, but, after looking at their press release, I guess I didn't realize that Utica Rome, they've lost the last 3 Sundays. I guess I hadn't paid that close enough attention to realize they had lost that many in a row.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I didn't think it was 3. I thought it was only 2, but I guess you're probably right.
Yeah, no. So it's been tough lately, and hopefully, and I hate to even say it because the last time I said about how nice the weather looked, then things turned. So I'm not even going to do it tonight. But certainly, I hope that pretty soon here we're going to be able to shake all of this that's been going on. So as we get ready to kind of close things out tonight, guys, I want to bring up our picks from last week. We picked the modified winner for Outlaw Speedway on Thursday night, and none of our picks did well. Matt Shepard had his problems. He had an eventful night on Thursday night. Billy Van Pelt looked like the guy that might be the top challenger for Siri, but he had a flat tire, which ended his great run there. So, we'll switch it up during the season, but I think with this week being the first leg of the Outlaw Challenge and the Lucas Oil Empire Super Sprints coming to town, I think maybe we'll stick with those guys to pick tonight. So what are you guys feeling on the modifieds and the sprints? Brad or Clint, whoever would like to go first here tonight.
Go ahead, Brad.
The modifieds. I'm gonna go with a guy that probably was on his way getting a race this past Thursday. I'm gonna go with AJ Slideways because, man, if he's got half the car he had on Thursday night, he's gonna be hard to beat.
And how about sprint?
For the sprint cars, because I'm sure they're gonna have a lot of guys coming up, a big paying race for these guys, and a track that's local for some of the guys that run really well. I'm gonna go with the Juice, Jared Zimbardi, picking up another win.
Oh, the Juice. Okay. Not a bad pick. How about you, Clint?
Let's see. For the modifieds at Outlaw this week, I'm going to go, I believe he's racing there every Friday night, so I'm going to pick him. I'm going to go with Danny Johnson to win his modified feature of the year. And for the sprint cars, let's see. Brad took my guy, so I'm going to go with... Let's go with Jason Barney to win.
There you go. All right.
Yeah, I just remember that race at us weekend with the 3 of... I can't even remember all 3 of them, but I know Jason Barney was one of them there that they all finished within 0.3 of a second of each other or something like crazy like that.
So here's my pick for Friday night in the modifieds. Again, this is the first leg of the modified Triple Crown. If this driver can win on Friday, win the Outlaw Fall Nationals, win the Dutch Oak National Open, they would then be able to go on and collect $25,000. Now, this guy won the Consi on Thursday night, drove all the way to 4th place, and I'm going to pick this guy because I think he's one of the guys that has the best chance to cash in on the big bonus. And he's probably not a guy that you would pick in your top 3 picks. But I'm going to pick him because he's won the Dutch Oak National Open twice already. And in order to pick up this big bonus, you've got to win that race, or at least a couple of these, the Spring Nationals and the Fall Nationals. So, this guy can strike at any time. If he hits it just right, he can just walk the dog on the field. I'm going to go with Ron Cartwright Jr. for Friday night at Outlaw Speedway. So, mic drop there on that one. Empire Super Sprints. Boy, this is a tough one because, Brad, if I remember right, you said Patriots are off this weekend?
That is correct. They don't race again until the 27th of May.
So the interesting part about that is I think that opens up the field. I mean, I heard from Tyler Graves today that he's going to be racing on Friday night, and I really think that opens the field up to some guys that maybe we wouldn't expect to be there if both ESS and the Patriots were racing on the same night. But with all that being said, guys, how can you look past this guy? He's been on fire to start the season. I think he continues that. He's driver out of Quebec. Poirier. Steve Poirier will take the win on Friday night.
I don't know how that's a bad pick.
Well, it's
I don't know. His chant just started a riot down in turn 4.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. It's going to be fun for sure. Something that you folks may have not picked up on, and we're going to have some information out on that the rest of this week, is we now have fantasy leagues up on the TB Fantasy Racing League. Check them out on Facebook, and you can get all of the info there. Again, TB Fantasy Racing Leagues. Outlaw Speedway has a fantasy league now. Woodhall Raceway has a fantasy league on their site. They also do fantasy leagues for I-88 Speedway as well as the Lucas Oil Empire Super Sprints. Going to be a lot of fun to pick drivers each week. Now, Clint, here's how it works. I know you were asking me earlier today. You pick 3 different drivers, and Troy Buchanan sets this website up, and he's got the point sheet from 2015 at Outlaw Speedway and at Woodhall's current point sheet. And he groups all the drivers into 3 different groups, and you pick one driver from each group to start with. And each successive week, you're able to trade one driver at a time. Not one driver per category, one driver trade per week. So I think that really makes it interesting. And there's such a wide variety of drivers that you can go with that I'm looking forward to this. I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I think I'll probably do my hand at it. And you said it's right on the website, Steve?
Yeah, we've got links on the Outlaw Speedway page as well as on the Woodhall Raceway page as well. But let's take a look here, and I'll get you the exact website here. But it's tbfantasyracing.com. That's tbfantasyracing.com. You click on the leagues page, and you can see they've got ID8, ESS, Outlaw, and Woodhall. You just click on whatever track league you'd like to join, and it's kind of cool. I mean, they really have done a nice job putting this together, and I think it's going to be a whole lot of fun. I mean, looking at the lineup of drivers, and again, these are all randomized for each group. Group A, you can pick from Alan Johnson, Brad Smith, Brady Foltz, Brandon Matthews, Brett Ayers, Brian Knowles, Casey Pavlik. I mean, those names right there. I mean, from Thursday night's winners, here's a few winners from Thursday night that are in this group. You've got Chuck Winslow's in the group. You've also got, you can put a write-in option for Group A. Group B, you've got Dale Welty in the Sportsman. He was a winner from Thursday night. You've also got a couple other drivers here: Keith Lamphere, Mike Wunderling, Kurt Stebbins. So it's going to be a lot of fun to follow along with that this season. But want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Another great program on hand with us. We'll be back here next Tuesday night for an all-new edition of Turn 5 Live here on the Performance Motorsports Network. Wherever you go to the races this weekend, be sure to take a kid with you to the races. They are the future of our sport. Thank you, folks, for tuning in. Good night, everybody. This has been Turn 5 Live on the Performance Motorsports Network.
Turn 5 Live is a copyrighted production of the Performance Motorsports Network. PerformanceMotorsportsNetwork.com is a member of the Scorpion Radio Group Incorporated and may not be rebroadcast, replicated, or saved in any media without the explicit written permission of PMN. The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host, co-host, and guests, and do not necessarily reflect those of the management and ownership of either the Performance Motorsports Network or Scorpion Radio Group Incorporated, the advertisers, or marketing partners. Thank you for listening to Turn 5 Live. You can listen to Turn 5 Live every Tuesday night right here on the Performance Motorsports Network. Stay tuned for more great PMN programming.
Searching for a world so